Was the Super Bowl rigged?
I don't
I don't know. Was it, Charlie?
usually post a video this late into the evening, but right now I'm like a movie theater toilet. I am fuming. I am absolutely steaming because of how the Super Bowl just ended. I watch every Super
Dude, it
Bowl, and in
was
this one I
like
didn't really have a horse in the race. I'm
neither
neither
did
a
I.
Chiefs nor Eagles fan. I just wanted to be entertained. And for the majority of the game, I was thoroughly entertained. It was just a great game. Both teams putting on an incredible performance, going wacko mode, insano style, tying it 35-35. And just like the first Spider-Man movie when he fought Bonesaw, when Bonesaw was ready, we had 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime, and it was coming down to the wire, an absolute ass greaser. The
Yeah.
Chiefs were driving down the field. They make it to the red zone. It's getting a little dicey for the Eagles. Fans spilling their beer all over themselves in anticipation and fear, but the Eagles are putting up an incredible defensive stand.
He's probably about to say the same thing too, but like without like the hold, even whether the Chiefs scored a touchdown or a field goal, like there's still a chance maybe they don't score a touchdown, but then they have like more time, whatever, blah 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 blah. But there probably would have been time for Eagles to do something, and that's what everyone wanted to see.
And then in the most crucial moment of the entire game, with less than 2 minutes remaining in this tie game, a penalty was called for holding against the Eagles, which lost them the game. One single bad call decided the outcome of the Super Bowl at the very end, which is what has led the majority of people who watch this game to call rigged, say the refs are all paid off, and say that it's all just part of the script. Because right now there's a tinfoil nipple clamp conspiracy theory that floats around that a lot of people genuinely believe that sports are rigged. They're or rather scripted. I actually do agree that there is rigging to a certain level with the refs. I do think there is real corruption there. But let me just opine on the
Thank you
scripting
for the
thing
price
real quick.
but
I think that's a load of dirty barnacles. I think that is just a fat load of fish paste. I don't think sports are scripted at all. That's kind of an unhinged belief.
it would just be like very
But
tough.
I
I
do
feel like
think
to
the
script.
refs are corrupt. It's not just football, it's basketball as well. This entire year has really shown me since I got back into watching sports live. I have seen so many awful officiating moments that I can find no other explanation besides just
Refs saved the Chiefs
malicious
too in the
corruption.
versus Bengals.
And this is the most blatant example. The holding call, I can't show you any clips because obviously it's the fucking Super Bowl. If I even showed you a still image of it, I'm sure Roger Goodell of the NFL would come to my house personally and fucking slap me around and then hit me over the head with a fucking sledgehammer. So I can't show you anything, but if you watch the Super Bowl, you immediately know the call. The call was on the Eagles for holding. The receiver was going out, and the Eagles defender lightly touched him, like on the hip. It was a light touch and like a slight jersey tug that could have even been.
See, that's a thing. Like, if there was just happened to be no like little like the Jersey pool, it was just like, bleh.
Like accidental. It was so gentle. Like the way he treated the receiver is the way a mother would treat a newborn baby. It was so light and caring. There was no holding at all on the play. And Patrick Mahomes threw up a stinky meatball of a pass that was just uncatchable regardless for the receiver that it was intended for. But they still threw the flag and called holding on the Eagles, which gave the Chiefs a first down and also just gave them plenty of time to run out the clock, kick a field goal, win the game. It was decided by that call. It was the most crucial moment of the game, and the call instantly ended it pretty much on the spot. And under no circumstances is that acceptable. Regardless of what team you were rooting for, I'm sure all of us can recognize that this is a complete wet fart of an ending to an otherwise amazing game.
It was
just
a really
got the
good
bad
game.
ending to this one, unfortunately. The biggest sporting event that America has to offer is decided by the refs instead of the players. That's pathetic. That's awful. In a situation like this, I think they should go to the replays and be 100% sure that there is truly a penalty worthy of being called in a situation like this. It's a terrible look for the sport, and it's embarrassing overall. They should have 100% held the refs to a higher standard here. Oh, we're under 2 minutes to play, and this call is going to decide the game. Everyone knew it. The second that call was made, even the commentators were like, oh, I don't agree with that one. Eek. That's a bit spicy. That's a no good. We don't like that. The commentators were outspoken about how bad the call was. In a situation where it is that crucial, they need to go back to the drawing board, check everything, and 100% be sure that this is a call that needs to be made. Because in this situation, it wasn't. It's a bad call. It's just straight up a shitty call. Even if you're the biggest Chiefs fan in the world, you got your Chiefs butt plug dialed all the way up to maximum turbo settings. It's vibrating in your colon. You're super excited they won. In the back of your mind, you know that it's a pretty upsetting ending. I'm sure you would have preferred if they had actually beat them on their own merit instead of having the refs help. Because no matter how you spin it, that call decided that game at the very end. The Chiefs could have still 100% won that, but now it's always going to be left up to speculation on, well, would the Eagles have made a game-winning drive? Would the Eagles have stopped them on that red
Dividends,
zone
thank
drive?
you.
Like, there's so many question marks now that the win can't feel as good as it would have if the refs didn't make that call.
Oh, that's okay.
It's a lose-lose for everybody except the refs that may have been paid off. Like, I'm actually starting to believe that they are influenced in some way financially in order to make these awful calls. We just saw it recently in the NBA with the infamous no call against the Lakers. I'm not even going to bother going down that road right now. I already fucking ranted about that on stream for quite some time, and I'm not even a goddamn Lakers fan either. I just hate how awful calls decide the outcome of the biggest games. I just think that's horrible. Like, it's just bad. And what's even worse is there's...
I feel like one thing too, you could tell like it definitely wasn't that much like holding or whatever. It's like not even like the receiver. If you were watching the game, it was like, where's the flag? Like, the receiver did like nothing. There was like nothing
to
the receiver did.
Your job as a referee. Like, if you do well, cool. If you do poorly, there's no repercussions. Like, some of the worst refs of all time are still currently refs.
The turf was kind of, but that is another thing. The turf was oddly
I don't understand why
slippery. I saw like a thing for like the turf that was like specifically made just for the Super Bowl, like that grass.
For this call tonight, like have them double check. Bring out a fucking forensics team. I don't care. It's the biggest call of that game in the most crucial moment of the entire game. Really do your due diligence to ensure that call is legitimate and necessary, because you do not want a game to wrap up the way this one did. It causes nothing but turmoil, and it ruins the entire thing. The Super Bowl was amazing all the way up until it wasn't. At the very last 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. It's craziness. Can't believe I'm actually making a sports ranting video, but my family and I were having so much fun watching the Super Bowl. And when that call was made, collectively, all of us let out an audible groan in frustration, and it took the wind out of all of our sails. None of us are Chiefs fans or Eagles fans. We didn't give a fuck who won. It was just such an amazing game. And to have it in this way is deflating. I can only imagine Philadelphia Eagles fans right now. But anyway, I just wanted to vent about all this.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk about the Super Bowl at all. But it's fine now. It's in the past now. It's over. It's on to the next season.